France slams U.S., America alone in UN human rights vote. A stunning diplomatic brawl erupted on social media recently after France launched a scathing attack on the United States following a contentious United Nations vote. Paris accused Washington of abandoning its role as a global human rights leader, declaring America alone. The drama unfolded after a UN vote to reappoint High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Türk, for another 4-year term. France's official mission to the UN posted on X, claiming the U.S. once a beacon of human rights, now stands alongside nations like North Korea, Nicaragua, and Russia, isolated, and that the world no longer listens to it. But the U.S. fired back immediately. Ambassador Mike Waltz accused France of using the social media attack to distract from its own controversial vote to support Türk. Waltz wrote that France's vote was shameful and coddled some of the worst human rights abusers. He criticized Türk for lecturing democracies like the US, the UK, and Israel, while allegedly cozying up to oppressors. US Representative for UN Management, Jeff Bartos, went even further, stating the UN human rights system has been losing credibility for decades and that Türk had guided it to its deathbed. Bartos accused Türk of disproportionately condemning democracies, singling out the United States, Britain, France, Australia, Italy, and especially Israel for criticism. Meanwhile, he reportedly remained silent for days after alleged violence against citizens in Iran, yet quickly condemned U.S. military action against the same country. Bartos also criticized Türk's office for calling to lift sanctions on Cuba and maintaining what he called an anti-Israel machinery. However, France's UN ambassador Jérôme Bonifat offered a starkly different view. He praised Türk, saying he demonstrated rigor and impartiality during a challenging first term, calling him a voice of conscience who confronts states with their responsibilities. Behind the scenes, American officials were reportedly surprised by France's brazen public attack and rejected the idea that opposing one UN official's reappointment equated to opposing human rights. Washington also tried to postpone the vote, which was expedited, but member states rejected the request. The General Assembly ultimately approved Türk's reappointment by a significant margin, 144 votes to 10, with 13 abstentions. Adding to the controversy, a Geneva-based watchdog, UN Watch, published an analysis concluding that Türk criticized the United States more frequently than China, North Korea, Cuba, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar combined. They found no self-initiated criticism from Türk's office during that period concerning abuses by several authoritarian regimes. The fiery exchange highlights deep divisions within the international community regarding human rights leadership. Niall Gardner from the Heritage Foundation responded bluntly, suggesting France should show some gratitude to the U.S. for its sovereignty. Despite the controversy, Türk's supporters argue his willingness to criticize powerful democracies proves his commitment to universal human rights standards. With this reappointment, Volker Türk is now set to become the first UN human rights chief to serve 2 complete 4-year terms since the position was established in 1993, marking a significant, albeit contentious, moment for the United Nations.